What up? All right, this piece is crazy. I just did the A section. I didn't really nail it that great, but the point of this one is this composition is just over the top, and there's some really interesting 2/5s in here that can help. Are just too good. I have to go over these 2/5s, but I'm going to start with in the middle because the best one is in the middle at bar. So I'll have the whole thing in tab and all the changes. It's mostly 1/4/5, 2/5, you know. But at bar 33, he goes into a 6. So this is all the things you are. In this key, the 6th chord, the relative minor is D minor, the 2 is G minor, then the 5 is C, and then the 1 is F, and then the 4 is B flat. That's exactly the same as all the things you are, except it's all the things is in A flat. So we'll put it to that key, and then it diverges a little bit, but it's still, there's a pattern here that you can apply to any of these 6, 2, 5, 1. It's really cool, or even just a 2/5. But anyway, let's start with the 6. Let's keep it in the original key for starters. So he pulls to the D with the bar 31. Also, it's in 3, so you can make it in 4 just by adding a root note in the beginning or slowing it down. So it's just a straight. The next note after this would be F, but he jumps the F up an octave. A simple trick. So the line is B flat, A, G, F, E, D. And that brings you to the C sharp of A7. But he octave jumps it. So you get. And then there's the A7, and he jumps up. Again, this line would be C sharp, B flat, A. That's the line, but he jumped the octave here as well instead of going to this B flat. Very interesting use of octaves. A7. But now here's where it starts the all the things you are pattern. So on the first chord, of course, we're starting on the 3rd, the minor 3rd. So we're bouncing back to the root. 3, flat 3, root. 4, root. 5, root. Then to the flat 7. Why? Because that is the note right above the 3rd of the next chord, the G minor. And then on the second chord, the pattern is, so it's just a 2-chord pattern and it repeats. The second chord, it's another octave jump. It's just a straight line. These are just straight, like when you study Parker, you learn these lines. Starting from the 3rd, you're just walking down to the 3rd of the C, because we're going G to C. G minor, C7. So we're going, you can hear it. But he, instead of going B flat, A, G sharp, he goes B flat, up an octave A. And that walks down to the 3rd of the next chord. So, up to the, it'd be the 9 of the G. Starting on the flat 3rd. And now we're on the C. So now on the C, we repeat the first pattern again, where we're going 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, flat 7, and that pulls to the 3rd of the next chord. Then we repeat that pattern number 2, where we're on the 3rd, instead of walking down, A, G, we jump an octave. And it outlines the 3rd of the next chord, B flat. Now we go back to pattern 1. and then it diverges. Now for here, all the things you are, let's move it now to the key of A flat. A flat. We got F minor, all things you are, B flat minor, E flat 7, 5 to 1, A flat, and then the D flat, and then it goes to G7, tritone, and then the C. And then it repeats in the key of E flat. But let's start with the F minor chord in the key of A flat with the same pattern. So we're going to go start from the third, and then here's the, now we jump up an octave, and that lands us to the third of E flat, the G, where we go with pattern 2, flat 7, and that takes us to the A flat, the major third of A flat. Now again, we jump an octave, and we're on the C, but instead of going, we jump up, and that outlines the third of the B of the D flat. Now in all the things you are, we're going with G7, so we can just walk the bass down 2 frets, do pattern 2. So it's B, we're on G7, we go to B, flat 9, root, and then approach the third of C. So all together, from F. Now, same thing, but in the key of E flat. So the 6th chord is C, C minor, to F minor, B flat, B flat 7, down to the flat 7, E flat major. Oh, sorry, pattern 2. A flat. Walk the bass down to D7, pattern 2, and now we're in G. Now, of course, you could do the 2-5 in G as well. It'd just be A minor. Here's the D7. You know, fill the G however you want with more Bach or whatever. And then F sharp, E, key of E, so we got F sharp minor to the third of B7, up an octave to the flat 9, and we land on the third of E. So this can be used for any 2-5. Now on a dominant chord, you could use the natural 9. It's a little brighter, so the A minor, D7, G. And on the G, you know, you can do the pattern 1. And so forth. So it's a 2 pattern idea, but it works really well with when the 6th chord starts out pulling to the 2 chord, because then you get and then in all things you are, you know, we got to kind of change it a little bit to the G7. So this comes in really handy, practicing, putting it into songs, and so, you know, and then coming up with variations on it. But he's always focusing on the third of the chord. If it's minor, it's flat third, and that octave jump's really nice. So it's an octave jump up and an octave jump down and then up. You know, it's the more I play it, the more I realize how how intricate it is. So anyway, that's the coolest 2/5. The rest of the tune is just full of good ideas for arpeggios. You know, the full first 5 measures are all G minor, then a D7, so that's a great run for on the 5 chord. C minor, B flat major 7, and then an A minor 7 flat 5 to a D7, pulling the G. So that's another 2/5 right there. A minor 7, D7 to the G. So if we took that and put it into the ending of All the Things You Are. So in A, we're starting 2 frets below the A. So in E, we'd be starting here. Now A7 on the root, and then to D minor. And D minor would be G7, C minor, 7 flat 5, and then now it's to B flat major, so we just go down to the D. Okay, where else? What else we got? Now we have some really good ideas for dominant chords from the bar 13. Notice he's still using that motif, going down to the flat 7, but here he starts on root. This is a C7. So we just saw that on A7. He's reusing this idea. Great idea for a dominant 7 chord. Root, F, E, F, 11, or 4, 3, 4, 5, flat 7. F. It's an F7. It's a flat 7. Now B flat. Same idea. B flat 7. And then this is just some interesting arpeggios. Using like seconds. That's an E flat major, relative minor, C minor, up to F, D minor, G minor, kind of just going through the diatonic patterns. E flat major, acting as 4 chord, 5 chord F, and then a really nice major run. Kind of just goes diatonic. B flat, C minor, with the same top. D minor, and then the 4 chord E flat, but repeats that, that gives it a nice feel. Just a F7, nothing special there. Repeats that idea in B flat. These are combination measures where they're just, that's a quick E flat and then a quick F. It's too quick to really get ideas from. A B flat. Bar 30 is a D7. Kind of nice setting on the A. Those jumps. And there's the pull to the 3rd of G minor. Alright, so moving on from that. B flat, A7, same idea. Some common D minor, and these are hard to tag what exactly chords. It's like a 1 measure, 1 beat of G minor, 1 beat of C, 1 beat of B flat, or a beat of C7. A beat of F, that's hard to tag, but then we get a really nice long A7 setting on the flat 9. That's a cool idea. Up to the flat 7, flat 9, flat 7, and then A7. Now he switches here to a melodic minor type scale. He just played flat 9. Now he's playing natural 9. Still A. Now we're kind of going up the A minor. No, A7 dominant. 8 D minor scale. On A7. And then he takes us to a G minor. Same idea. A7 from the 3rd, very typical. So that last bar 47, is it 47? Yeah, 47. That could be an E minor 7 flat 5 to A7 to the. So if we took that and put it in all the things you are, it'd start from the flat 5, which is right there. E minor 7 flat 5, but kind of thinking of G minor. And then on the A7, now D minor 7 flat 5, C minor 7 flat 5, F7 to B flat. Major 3rd, all 3rds. And that covers the A section. The B section gets even crazier. I'm not even going to attempt to play that and record it because it would probably take forever. But really, most of the good ideas are in the A section. So you take these ideas and it helps to put them into different changes so you can see them work over different chord changes, and then it starts to click, and you know, especially All Things You Are. That's a great song to run, or all Stella, the ending chords. You know, if you get a minor 7 flat 5 2 5, a minor 2 5, run it through the ending of Stella, which is E minor 7 flat 5 to A7, D minor 7 flat 5 to G7, C minor 7 flat 5, F7 to B flat major. And on the E minor 7 flat 5, we kind of think G minor up 3 frets, which is kind of the 4 chord. Then we think 5. So it's just G minor to A7, G minor to A7, to then the D minor we think F minor, F to G7. On the C minor, we think E flat minor, up to the, which pulls to the F7, and then we finally land on the B flat. Oh, it's exhausting, but awesome 2 5s, and plus it's fun to play anyway. And oh yeah, the intro is I'm using a string skipping. You could play it like that. I find it a little easier to skip the 2nd string. But these seconds, you know, are hard. They require up and down picking. Same with this. Up, down, up, down, up. I cheat a little bit and use some hammers from nowhere if I get kind of jammed up in my picking. Okay, yeah, so this is Bach Presto, the G minor. This is pretty famous. There's a million versions of this online. I would check out the violin version if you haven't, because that's pretty crazy. From the sonatas and partitas. And on that note, Thanks. Any questions, let me know. See you next time.